Hello everyone and welcome back to the opening weekend of the 2024-25 Optegra Championship, where you join myself, Ryan Sipple, and my co-commentator Dean Williams for what is scheduled for a 2 kickoff. Slight delay, which will be contested between Leeds Dynamos PFC and Teesside Steel PFC. If you've joined myself and Dean on commentary for other games across game week 1, you'll know we are talking and explaining the new exciting partnership between the WFA and Optegra, a partnership that marks a significant milestone in our ongoing mission to develop and expand power chair football in England, underlying a shared commitment to improving the lives of people. By joining forces with Optegra, a leading eye healthcare provider, we aim to enhance accessibility and participation in power chair football, ensuring that individuals have the greater opportunities to engage in the sport at both grassroots and competitive levels. Their sponsorship reflects more than just their financial backing. It represents a long-term investment in the development of our sport and our community. It will be crucial, and it is crucial, to kind of funding the infrastructure, the venue, the equipment, the resources needed to ensure that the league can continue to grow and thrive. So we are really excited to be partnered and paired with Optegra for the 24-25 National League, which extends to the Premiership as well. We've already had a brilliant start to this season's campaign. No doubt we'll get them involved a lot more. And we're looking forward to hosting them here at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre, hopefully for game week 1 of the 24-25 Premiership.
Beautifully put, Ryan. Beautifully put. And just to echo my thanks to everyone at Optegra as well. We're very excited by the partnership and how that's going to help us and enable us. And the only thing I'll add to what you just said, Ryan, is because they're such a connected and regarded company, it helps us expand our reach as well, which is brilliant. So we already saw that when we announced it, some of their clients were actually jumped on board and we're very inquisitive about the whole relationship as well, which is great.
Yeah, we are underway here in this fixture between Leeds Dynamos and Teesside Steel. And just on that point, whilst we always love to engage with charities and organisations that have a core focus on disability provision or equipment, it's so nice to kind of expand our horizons and reach new audiences beyond that, because that's how we can really grow and reach them new audiences. So beyond excited to see where this exciting partnership goes. Here we have Leeds Dynamos versus Teesside Steel, one of the most highly anticipated fixtures of the whole weekend. Live on Court A, Sale United take on West Bromwich Albion Dudley. So to go through the starting squads of Leeds Dynamos, followed by Teesside Steel. Seb Copeland, the most defensive of the 4 Dynamos players. In the centre, starting is Liam Chadwick, with wingers of Jack McNaughton, who scored a beautiful goal in an earlier 3-0 victory over Manchester United, and Reece Stewart, who played a role in assisting Hayden Lambert. So already a number of their players off the mark in the goal scorer charts. Jack Humphreys on the bench as well, who provided a beautiful assist in that opening game. So strong start for a team that will have title aspirations. Teesside Steel, likewise, they're comprised of Isaac Murray in yellow. In the centre, it looks like it will be Jamil Khan. They've got Oscar Mulgrew and Thomas Met, and they have a really good opportunity to open the scoring 2 minutes in via this indirect free kick. Straight off the side of Seb Copeland's chair. He just couldn't quite get his placement right. So Teesside Steel, within 2.5 minutes, opened the account. Beautiful goal. Fired.
That was fired.
It really was, by Jamil Khan.
Yep, so that's we participate in this game, aren't we? Massively. So that's a perfect start for Teesside Steel. And let's see what Leeds have got in terms of the reaction and response to that. Impressive in that the previous game that we saw in their victory. So let's see if they can get back into this pretty swiftly. That'll be the aim. Teesside come away with the ball. Back with Leeds Dynamos, being intercepted very quickly by Jamil Khan. Spins, he did his goal a few moments ago. It's intercepted by Liam. Back to Thomas Met.
So should now have confirmation. Will go down as a Sebastian Copeland own goal due to the indirect nature of that free kick. Leeds Dynamos 0, Teesside Steel 1. Anyone that joined myself and Dean for Leeds earlier 3-0 victory over Manchester United, we referenced their 23-24 campaign and the fact that they were just shy of finishing in a more favourable promotion placement. They finished 1 point behind third place playoff, which of course narrowly missed a playoff spot, and just 2 points of securing automatic promotion, indicating that their strong contention throughout the season. They demonstrated considerable consistency throughout, finishing with a commendable 40 points, a tally they'll almost certainly be wishing to match, if not surpass, across the 24-25 Optegra Championship campaign. But if they were just short in being a formidable contender last season, they'll almost certainly be considered so for this. But Teesside still have opened the account in this one, a game that has many people watching here at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre. Across their 22 games last season, they amassed 30 points. Teesside still starting the 23-24 campaign really strongly and just petering off slightly towards the end. They secured 8th position out of 12, 9 wins and 10 losses. Illustrates a season of fluctuating performances where consistency just seemed to elude them a little bit. The team managed only 3 draws, suggesting that many games were decisive, though not always in their favour. That man Jamil Khan with possession in the centre, a key player in their ranks, and looks like we've signalled for an early substitute here. Jamie King, the assistant on the right hand side, raises his flag, and this is already becoming a familiar trait of Lewis Harris's coaching style. Not shy in switching it up if it's not working in their favour. Hayden Lambert enters the action for the first time this game in place of Jack McNaughton. 6 minutes played. Leeds Dynamos 0, Teesside Steel 1. Now opportunity here for Thomas Met. He's going to punch it into the path of Jamil Khan. Goes for goal himself. Seb Copeland alert to that opportunity, but already Teesside Steel proving pretty clinical on the break. So the resulting corner kick to be taken by Jamil Khan. Oscar Mulgrew in the centre, guides it goal bound, just nicks up back into the path of Jamil Khan, met by Liam Chadwick. Teesside Steel number 4 is just going to try and force the ball through the defensive pair. Just very experienced player. Happy to wait to see what Seb Copeland does before engaging. Just ricochets kindly for Reece Stewart, met by Oscar Mulgrew. But good start for Teesside still. I think as they enter this new season, the narrative will revolve around their pursuit of consistency and improvement. If they can ensure that, they will almost certainly be up there in contention for potential promotion, if not the title. I had them down as potential title challengers, but because there's been so many shifts in teams and individual players, it's so incredibly hard to call which way the season will go. Whereas years gone by, you could stake a claim with a degree of certainty as to what teams would be up there towards the latter stages of the season. I can't say that is the case for the 24-25 Optegra Championship. I think Leeds Dynamos, Teesside Steel, Villa Rockets Lions, West Bromwich Albion, Dudley, to mention just four, will be real title contenders. Manchester United, Hull and East Yorkshire, and now GBG Knights, formerly Nomad Knights, having been relegated from the Premiership, have switched up significantly in the break, so not quite sure which way they will go. Maybe a slight real rebuilding phase for them three squads, so time will tell if they will be title contenders.
It's an interesting matchup to see where both teams are, really. I think we learn a lot more about Leeds, don't we, from this point? 1-0 down quite early.
Oh, that's a really nice opportunity. Set piece from Liam Chadwick, sent into the path of Reece Stewart. He used his front bumper to try and find the gap between Mulgrew and Murray. But they were defensively sound in that passage of play. But in terms of that competitive nature and not knowing who will come out on top, that sentiment can be shared for the Premiership as well. West Brom, Aspire, Newcastle, Leeds, Teesside, they've all switched it up in the off-season. So can't wait to get back here at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre at the end of October for game week 1 of the 24-25 Optegra Premiership. Jack Humphreys now enters the action in place of Reece Stewart and tries to force the ball over the line. Dave Morris deems Jack Humphreys' pursuit of an equaliser a little overzealous. Direct free kick for current 1-0 leaders, Teesside Steel. Go back to your point about this fixture and this matchup being a real barometer as to each side's intent and momentum in this season's campaign. Leeds, as already mentioned, so close to securing promotion last season. That slight deficit in points that they succumbed to just indicated that while robust in many matches, there were potentially crucial moments where either a draw or a losing performance by narrow margins ultimately cost them the higher placements. So every single game counts.
It does if you want to do something pretty awesome at the end of the season. 100%. Might feel early, but these games often make a big difference.
So these two last met game week 5 of the 23-24 campaign. In that game, Teesside Steel were 1-0 victors. Jamil Khan the goal scorer, so whilst it was registered as an own goal here this afternoon, it was very much Jamil Khan that influenced that 1-0 scoreline. And before that, they met in November of 2023 at a deadlock, 0-0 that time. So it just shows how similarly matched these two are. With reference, Leeds Dynamo's 3-0 victory over Manchester City this morning. Teesside Steel played out a frustrating 0-0 draw with recently relegated Manchester United. So on paper, when you're looking at a team that's been relegated to a team that finished middle of the pack in the Championship, you'd say it's a very favourable point for Teesside Steel, but I know they'll have aspirations of higher placements. And Manchester United are a very different looking team than that finished the last season's campaign. So many talking points here in game week 1. Liam Chadwick takes possession, distributes out to Hayden Lambert. Jack Humphreys does well to vacate the space. Thomas Met into Jamil Khan. Very attacking intent from Teesside Steel, committing 3 players forward. Potential break for Leeds Dynamos, spearheaded by Jack Humphreys. Hayden Lambert and Liam Chadwick advancing up the court to support. Jamil Khan prevents the Leeds Dynamos number 34 initially, and Isaac Murray shall dribble out of danger. Tough fixtures tomorrow for Teesside Steel. They play Villa Rockets Lions at 10:25 before Muscle Warriors at 5 minutes to 2. Muscle Warriors with 2 wins from their 2 games in the opening weekend signals their intent. I talk about and reference several teams in contention for the title. It's another one that just passed me by. Started so brilliantly. They've strengthened with the acquisitions of 3 new players. Hannah Hindley of Leeds Dynamos, the most notable in the context of this game. So Leeds Dynamos have had to recruit with one of their key players leaving them. Leeds Dynamos play AFC Bournemouth Warriors and GBG Knights tomorrow. "15 minutes played. Leeds Dynamos 0, Teesside Steel 1. Jamil Khan firing an indirect free kick into the side of a stationary Seb Copeland as Hayden Lambert caught in 2 minds. I'm not quite sure what his intent was, whether it was to go for goal or pick out Jack Humphreys. That lapse in concentration meant it went between the 2 options. Liam Chadwick down to Jack Humphreys, into the back wheel of Isaac Murray.
They're actually quite happy, aren't they, to let Leeds Dynamos have the ball, which is quite interesting, and then sit back and then be quite decisive. We just saw it a few minutes ago. We saw it with Thomas Met just firing narrowly wide, but they're quite happy to soak up that element of pressure and then hit.
Frustration from Jamil Khan. Couldn't quite control the pace of that ball. It rolls out for a Leeds Dynamos kick in.
I know it's an own goal, but he might be a bit upset, you know. It's a hell of a strike.
It certainly was. It's always the danger with indirect free kicks or direct free kicks that are so advanced. Chadwick to take. Down the line, trapped between Khan and Humphreys. Leeds Dynamos growing into the game. Teesside still had little attacking pressure following that opening goal. We're going to get a late substitute. Hayden Lambert will be replaced by Jack McNaughton. So Jack Humphrey just switches wings now on the right as you're viewing it. Jack McNaughton to take almost, some refer to him as a set-piece specialist. He's so good at creating power and accuracy on them dead balls. A real asset for Leeds Dynamos, as it has been for a number of McNaughton's previous clubs. Plied his trade with Nomad Knights in the Premiership last season. Thomas Met millimetres away from making heavy contact with Liam Chadwick there. Has to be really careful. Fortunately, on that occasion, just the slight scraping of bumpers.
I grimaced then.
I did as well. I'm not sure if it translates like that over stream, but he put so much intent on that rotated spin that he was slightly unaware as to Liam Chadwick's placement, and a matter of inches, that would have been extremely heavy contact. He escapes with a warning from Dave Morris, our central referee, even though there wasn't any real content or malice. He connects with it that time, and Oscar Mulgrew millimetres away from connecting with that. Would have been a fantastic goal.
I actually got my eye on the battle between Thomas Met and Liam Chadwick, because it's actually quite enthralling to watch that, just a personal battle.
There's a few times there's been a little bit of contact off the ball. Thomas Met, a real character in the world of power chair football. He's contributed well to his team's 1-0 lead in this game against Leeds Dynamos. But thank you to all that are joining, myself, Ryan Sipple, and my co-commentator, Dean Williams. We will be back very shortly for the second half. Hello everyone and welcome back to this fixture in the opening weekend of the 24-25 Optegra Championship between Leeds Dynamos and Teesside Steel, currently separated by a single goal. A Jamil Khan indirect free kick fired into the stationary Sebastian Copeland. Own goal officially 1-0. That happened in the first few minutes of the game. Following that, very evenly contested. Leeds Dynamos probably with the more attacking intent, but Leeds Teesside Steel probably with the more clinical assertiveness in their attacks. They probably came closer to scoring than Leeds Dynamos did. We've cited on commentary a key battle between Thomas Met and Liam Chadwick, which is one for you to watch in this second half. That being said, they have switched up Leeds Dynamos in terms of their tactical approach, and it looks like Jack Humphreys will now play that central role. So Liam Chadwick and Thomas Met, complete opposite ends of the court and different sides as well. So one that may not be of note, but maybe worth picking up with, because Jack Humphreys will surely pick up the responsibilities vacated by Liam Chadwick. But to go through the teams as they sit, Leeds Dynamos comprise of Sebastian Copeland, Jack Humphreys, Hayden Lambert and Liam Chadwick. Teesside Steel have Isaac Murray, Oscar Mulgrew, Thomas Met and Jamil Khan. Bypasses Oscar Mulgrew, engaged by Thomas Met. Had to restrict his advancement, otherwise he would have driven into the side of Jack Humphreys.
Murray just admiring his own pass there.
That is an Isaac Murray thing to do. No doubt he'll watch this back later and comment on that, as Liam Chadwick, again, caught in two minds as to whether to really force the ball across the box to Hayden Lambert or Jack Humphreys on the edge, and that probably the most credible opportunity for Leeds Dynamos to find an equaliser all game. Really nice passing football. You can see why Lewis Harris has looked to switch it up. Having Jack Humphreys as that central pivot, paired by the really dynamic Liam Chadwick and Hayden Lambert, they're putting the pressure on Isaac Murray, and Teesside Steel come away with a corner kick. Started the second half really brightly.
Haven't they just? Two big chances.
Liam Chadwick to take into Jack Humphreys. Doesn't engage the ball, which allows Oscar Mulgrew time to readjust. Sensible play from Oscar Mulgrew just to shield it away from Hayden Lambert. Khan to Mulgrew. Down to Thomas Met. An opportunity here into the side of Jack Humphreys' chair. From one end of the court all the way to the other. End-to-end stuff. 3.5 minutes into this second half. Still, Teesside Steel, a goal to the good.
What a brilliant start to the second half this
Really has been.
Super. I think I'd describe Teesside Steel from what we've seen so far as they're sharp. Everything they do is decisive, very deliberate in terms of the attack. They'll cause a lot of teams a lot of problems this season.
Mulgrew. Two options on the bench for Teesside Steel, who haven't switched it up thus far. Number 11, Luke Heenan, and number 1, Charlie Connolly. Can Jamil Khan force the effort over the goal line? Jack Humphreys and Sebastian Copeland have to be very alert. He's going to try and force it from one side of the court to the other. And a chance for Oscar Mulgrew. How he's missed that, I really don't know.
I don't think he does.
There was a huge gap due to the nature of his rotation, the huge area of the goal, which was unmanned by either Jack Humphreys or Sebastian Copeland, was in a blind spot. Either way, really positive stuff from Teesside Steel, who are growing into the half following a spell of attacking pressure for Leeds Dynamos. One thing is for sure, this is one of the most attacking end-to-end games of football we've had all weekend. Two more rounds of games scheduled for 3:20 and 4:30 will conclude game day 1 of game week 1 of the 24-25 Optegra Championship. We will of course be back tomorrow here at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre for more thrilling action, where you can join myself and Dean on commentary once again.
You'll be fed up with me by the end of the first game week. I mean, the silence is quite deafening there, Rye, if I'm honest. I mean, you could have chosen to say anything at that point.
It was my concentration phase. I didn't mean offence. No, I always appreciate having a co-commentator. As I often say, anyone looking to support our commentary efforts, please make yourself known to either myself, Dean, Alex Dowding, any WFA representatives here at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre. We will strive to ensure you are given the opportunity. There's of course a process in place. If you're a new commentator, we want to ensure that you're with someone with experience, but we also want to provide the opportunity to any and everyone. We recently ran a second commentary course in conjunction with Alan March Sport, funded by Amazon Web Services. So work is going on behind the scenes to upskill our commentary efforts. Leeds Dynamos make a substitute. Liam Chadwick, the player, leaving the court. Rhys Stewart entering. One thing I will say, these two kits are very similar to one another.
Yeah.
Interesting that hasn't been picked up, so apologies if it's hard to distinguish on the stream which players are that of Teesside Steel and Leeds Dynamos. Teesside Steel, of course, have hues of blue on their sleeves, their goalkeeper in yellow.
That's just a really good point. I tend to be more focused on the chair, so that gives you, particularly with Leeds Dynamo's chair.
Of course, but there's not necessarily always that consistency on chair. You see Hayden Lambert, he has a silver and green chair. The tried and tested, the experienced Leeds players of Jack Humphreys and Sebastian Copeland, as well as the two substitutes, Jack McNaughton and Liam Chadwick, have that contrasting yellow and blue bumper. So there is distinguishing factors. I just wanted to apologise if anyone is having difficulties. Hopefully our commentary is running you through it as to who is in possession, attacking, defending, and much, much more. Rhys Stewart now makes connection with that rotated spin kick. Jack Humphreys now tries to usher Hayden Lambert into that bottom hand corner. Leeds Dynamos desperately seeking an equaliser. They haven't got long left. 10 minutes to go. 10.5 minutes to be specific. They started the second half really brightly, but petered off a little bit since. For that, I think credit is due to Teesside Steel. They've just got their defensive structure a little bit more organised. Thomas Met has had little to no involvement in the second half. Just a soft pass from Humphreys into Lambert, eventually out of play for a Dynamo's ball.
Lewis Harris of his team talk at half-time clearly made a difference. Those very bright couple of attacks and chances at the start of the second half. But since then, control has been gained again, isn't it? I think by Teesside still. They again very happy to sit, soak. They know they've got that ascendancy in terms of that 1-goal advantage. So from that perspective, no rush for them. But they're quite happy to soak it up.
Talk about the competitive nature of the Championship division and how I've referenced West Bromwich Albion Dudley as potential title contenders. They're currently trailing by 2-0 against Sale United, which, if they're able to see out, would be a huge victory for them. Another team that has suffered the departures of many key players. I think 3 of their starting 4 from last season have sought opportunities with other clubs. Sam Turner, Shannon Smith, Thomas Pettigrew, to mention just 3. So the fact that in their rebuilding phase they're able to produce performances and scorelines such as that against a team that was so dominant in their earlier 5-0 victory over Manchester City shows just how level the playing field is in the Championship, and anyone can truly beat any other team. Jamil Khan into Mulgrew, to the back wheel of Liam Chadwick, back on in place of Jack Humphreys, so will take that central role. I think they're just out of ideas, Leeds Dynamos, as to how to break down this stubborn Teesside Steel side. Isaac Murray has had very little to do across the 33 minutes played. At the conclusion of game week 1, we will of course be running our interactive polls and competitions where you can vote for your team of the weekend, standout player of the weekend and unsung hero of the weekend. So make sure you're thinking about that and have that in the back of your minds as you're watching these fixtures. We really want to acknowledge the top performers across our National League and shine a light on individual performances and players that maybe go under the radar but are so crucial to their team's performances.
Does that include commentators, right?
Not quite yet. Once we have that consistency of commentary across the majority of our games, we will no doubt look to acknowledge commentators. Looking forward to listening back to Kai Shah and Troy Willicombe's calling of the earlier game between Muscle Warriors and AFC Bournemouth Warriors. I'm sure at the end of season awards of the 24-25 campaign we can put together a little compilation of the commentators' best moments.
Bloopers.
There is many, I know.
Bloopers.
I know when Greg Baxter's calling the games that he has many moments of magic, just the poetry that comes out.
I think I upset him on my first year anniversary. I posted a picture of you and I doing commentary. He was mortally offended, I think.
Jamil Khan with a corner kick. Might even be a free kick. It's a little bit advanced. Oscar Mulgrew guides it goal bound, a ricochet as we get to see that battle again between Thomas Met and Liam Chadwick. But 5 minutes to be played. Teesside still look good value for these 3 points. Out of play for Leeds Dynamo's ball. Chadwick into Khan. Locked up by Jack McNaughton. Time is not on their side as Rhys Stewart tries to engage that ball, but good communication between Khan and Murray. McNaughton into Rhys Stewart, an opportunity. Slight miscommunication between Jamil Khan and Isaac Murray. Ricochets off the right-hand post. The best opportunity that Leeds Dynamos have had all game. We've got 3.5 minutes to be played. The curse of the commentator almost, as I referenced their good communication and defensive structure mere minutes ago. Fortunately, on that occasion, it doesn't result in Leeds Dynamo scoring. That's very late pressure here from the Yorkshire-based side. Chadwick in the centre. McNaughton, the dead ball specialist to take. Rhys Stewart at the back post. Interesting placement from Liam Chadwick. Will probably look to vacate the space. Rhys Stewart probably the intended target. The accuracy wasn't there though. And Oscar Mulgrew with an opportunity to break. Sebastian Copeland playing the sweeper keeper role, crucial in doing so, otherwise Thomas Met would have been presented the opportunity to double. Teesside steals advantage, and the ricochet of the ball traps itself between the legs of Liam Chadwick. Set ball will be contested between Mulgrew and Chadwick to continue play. 2.5 minutes to be played. Leeds Dynamo still trail by a goal to nil. Flicked back to Rhys Stewart. Didn't quite have the power, so Jamil Khan engages. Mulgrew. It's unlucky from Teesside, still number 16. Just couldn't get the purchase and just sweeps the ball out of play on the left.
On that chance, the ricochet that hit the post. A look across from Lewis Harris to us. Puff of his cheeks. I mean, we hope there's another chance, but we're getting into that kind of territory where it's got to happen now, hasn't it?
Chadwick, met by Thomas Met. Final minute of action. Jamil Khan brilliantly preventing Liam Chadwick from entering the Teesside steel half.
That wasted a few seconds, didn't it? Last chance.
Yeah, it's all about game management now. It's Rhys Stewart can't quite make contact with that Liam Chadwick free kick. I want you to have a think about potential player of the match as we approach the final few seconds. Thomas Met, no options in support, so just guides it goal bound. It's good work. Just going to try and wind down that clock now. calls from Jamil Khan to just lock it up in that top corner. Don't do anything rash. Just get these 3 points over the line. Good ball from Liam Chadwick. I'd like to have seen Jack McNaughton use the front bumper there. Reece Stewart in so much space on this left-hand wing. The right of Leeds Dynamos. We've now into additional time. Dave Morris with the whistle in his mouth. And that signals the end of the game. Leeds Dynamos 0. Teesside still 1. An opening goal in the first few minutes. Officially down as an own goal, but Jamil Khan, the creator, but a fantastic fixture of football. A testament to the quality and competitiveness of this season's championship. Player of the match, Dean?
We can't give him the goal, but we can definitely give him man of the match. So Jamil Khan, I thought offensively, the moments made the difference, but actually when he needed to, demonstrated there in the last couple of minutes or so, first of all, so I should say more accurately, the last few seconds, when he needed to hold up play and use experience, he was doing exactly that. So Jamil Khan, for me, man of the match. What a great game.
Yep, congratulations to him. Final few minutes of the game on Court A. It looks like Sale United will secure 3 points against West Bromwich Albion Dudley, which is an incredible result for a team in transition. Next up, here at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre in game week 1 of the 24-25 Optegra Championship on Court B. Myself and Dean Williams, we have Manchester United against Hull and East Yorkshire, two teams that were relegated from the 23-24 Premiership. And on Court A, GBG Knights take on AFC Bournemouth Warriors. Thank you to everyone tuning in. We'll be back very shortly for the next game on Court B.